All right, we're going to start working on graphing lines. And anytime you see the word function here, functions are just equations. Okay, so if we say lines, functions, equations, they all mean the same thing. So it really doesn't matter what they're described. So we're going to be working with graphing, but always in the form of a table. So sometimes the table is going to be given to you like this, and we have to graph. Now, each of these spots is an ordered pair. So this is the ordered pair -2, comma, -8. And we should know from the last lesson that -2, -8 would be right there. This ordered pair would be -1, comma, -5. So -1, comma, -5. 0, -2 would be here. 1, 1 would be here. And 2, 4 should be right there. Now, one of the nice things that we're graphing lines is that we should always be able to make a line. And that's actually a really nice check for us. If you have an equation like this, and then one of your ordered pairs ends up out there, that's a sign that you've made a mistake somewhere in your equation. So if you don't have a line, it's incorrect. So that's how we'd graph it from a table. And those are pretty straightforward. I wouldn't expect you to have too much trouble with that. The next part, though, is going to be a little bit tougher. We are given an equation or a function, and we have to table and graph. So, for me, and this is something that you can write in your notes and bring for Candy tomorrow, is the best table that you can make is going to be, we pick the x values. It's going to be -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. If you're ever given the option of making a table, if you pick those 5 x values and then solve your equation, you'll be able to figure it out just fine. So if you bring that in, that's for Candy. Now, the way we make this table is we're just going to take this value of -2 and we're going to plug it in right there for that x, and we're going to do that 5 times. So I'll change colors here. So if I have y equals 2 times -2 minus 2, and we use order of operations, which means we do 2 times -2, which is -4. -4 minus 2 should be a -6. Okay, so now we just start over. We take this value here, we plug it in, we get 2 times -1, because we're just replacing that x again, minus 2. 2 times -1, or 2 times -1, that's -2. -2 minus 2 is a -4. 0 is easy, because if you go 2 times 0, that's 0. 0 minus 2 is -2. 1, we go 2 times 1, which is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. And the last one should give us the power of 2. Now, there's a couple things. We can notice a nice pattern in here. It looks like we're going up by 2 each time. And if we graph this, we should make a line. If we don't make a line, then we've made a mistake. So -2, -6, -1, -4, 0, 2, 1, 0, and 2, 2. Once again, we would make the line. If it doesn't work, that's actually a pretty good line on the first try. If it doesn't work, then one of our points would be off, but this looks perfect for us. So these problems have a couple built-in checks that you can do. All right. I want you to try this one on your own, see how it goes, and then I'll graph it for you. So for this one, our table, which once again, our best values for our table are always going to be -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And the reason why that is because these are the smallest numbers that include positives and negatives. So it gets actually the easiest way to solve these. For each of these, -3 times -2 is +6, so that makes that 7. This would be 4, 1, -2, whoa, that was a pretty janky 2, and -5. And when we graph, there's one ordered pair, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And make our line. And I know it's a little off on the bottom, but we're sketching, so that's not a huge deal. Okay, so that's what you're expected to do in the 2 IXLs for this section. If you have any questions, once again, always ask me, and we can work through some examples. This is a pretty difficult concept to get mastered, so we're going to take a little bit of time on it.